What's good, Rules? My name is McKenzie Pearson. I'm a track and field athlete at UMKC, and I'm coming to you from K-ROO Radio. For today's topic, I'll be talking about mental health. And you're probably thinking, why would I talk about mental health? Well, in my opinion, mental health is something that is not talked about enough or even understood, and it is an important factor that can affect a person's daily life. Dealing with the world we are in now, and with just being a student athlete, parent, sibling, and or boss, it takes a lot of things to contribute to others' well-beings as well as working on your own. For me, being a student athlete for 3 years, I noticed how mentally draining it is to be an athlete in college, but also a student at the same time. And seeing athletes go through depression due to injuries or even trying to balance everything that comes with being a student athlete on the college level. So what is mental health? Mental health is something that includes our emotions, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, connect with others, and making right-minded choices. Mental health is important at every stage in one's growing life from birth, adolescence, and adulthood. What are the types of mental health we have? We have anxiety disorder, personality disorder, psychotic disorder, eating disorder, mood disorder, emphasis with depression, and more. And what are the causes of these things? Some of the causes could be childhood abuse, trauma, neglect, social isolation, loneliness. A good example of social isolation would be COVID-19. And you also have discrimination, stigma, as in racism, plus more.
How might the mental health of student athletes be impacted by their sport or their major?
Dealing with mental health and just being an athlete all around, you have to balance waking up early, getting to practice on time, making sure you're taking care of your body, eating the right things, getting enough sleep, and just doing what you have to do on the field, track, also in the classroom. So it's a lot of time management, and you have to really be, in tune with yourself, and just knowing what you're doing and having a routine how you do things, because one slight, mishap could throw you off for a while. It is draining waking up early, just making sure you're taking care of your body, because if you don't take care of your body mentally and physically, it can affect you both in the classroom and in your performance, whatever sport you do. And also with school, you always have to make sure you're studying, go to study hall, talking to your advisors and not missing any appointments, because those are crucial to just being a successful student outside of being an athlete.
What are the consequences of not monitoring your mental health as a student athlete?
I'll say some of the consequences are your performance in either school or your sport will go down. It will drain. Your coaches will be able to tell if you're actually doing what you're supposed to do on the school level and in the weight room or in practice. And if you're not taking care of it, it will show, and a lot of people can't notice. Some other consequences will be you just being left out, just missing opportunities to become better in what you are doing. Also, you can have academic probation. You can miss games, miss opportunities to travel with your team, just because you're not on your stuff like you should be. And with all that, it can also lead to depression and make someone feel bad. But it should also push you to want to do better at the same time, because you can't want to be a D1 athlete and you're not taking care of what you need to be in the classroom, practice, or at home, and plus your body. So,
do you feel like the athletes at UMKC have a particular problem with monitoring their mental health?
From being here for only a month or so, the athletes here take it pretty serious, and it's actually good to see, because mental health is something that's not talked about a lot or addressed a lot, especially in sports, because it's a lot that goes on with just trying to contribute to everyday life and balance all these things. I think that all around, a lot of coaches are actually taking it into consideration to make sure the kids are focusing on their mental, making sure they're able to participate in daily activities.
How would you define the way an athlete struggles with anxiety as opposed to perhaps a student?
Well, dealing with anxiety, I can piggyback on that because I suffer from anxiety myself, and it can affect the way you interact with others, because each sport is a team sport, and you have to be able to talk to people, create bonds, and just, make sure you're comfortable around each other, because you'll be around each other for a whole year plus some. So with having anxiety, it can affect your performance overall. Some people with anxiety have trouble with talking to others or, feeling comfortable enough to like open up, and it can be draining because you feel alone, feel like you don't have nobody to talk to, you connect with. It can also affect with reaching out and just like even to your coaches and explaining to them if you have problems such as like injuries or, not getting along with this person or that person, or workouts not working for you, or, you're just not ready mentally, or you're just not okay mentally. And it can cause you to suffer silently, but if a coach really knows you and they pay attention to you enough, they'll know if something is wrong, but it can still be hard to open up, even on that level.
So beyond monitoring mental health, what's one way that you can improve the state of your mental health?
I would say for me, some things that I have done a lot is journal a lot, just write down how I'm feeling for the day, write down what I have to do, how something affected me. So if I have class, I'll write down how class felt, how I felt mentally, or just start the day with journaling and writing down how you feel in the morning and how you feel when you get home. Another thing I'll say is meditation. Meditation is something that's good for everybody. At least take 5 minutes, just sit in a room by yourself and just breathe, just feel everything. Just be alone with your thoughts. You could play like some calming music just to relax your mental and your body. And that's one good thing that'll help. And also, talking to people about it, because everybody goes through the same thing. Well, most people go through the same. It's not just one person that suffers from a mental disorder or disability or anxiety. There's professionals out there that could help.
At what point would you consider seeking professional help for mental issues or mental disorders?
I would say a good time to go is when you can see a drastic change in your performance overall. School, sports, just your everyday living. If you're waking up and just like, oh man, I don't want to do this, or you're just having negative thoughts, or even if your family or friends notice that you're not like how you used to be, attacking the problem early in the stages when you just are not feeling like yourself anymore, that's a good place to start. Being around your family could help a lot. You'll be able to feel the presence of them. You'll be able to know where the real love is and people who actually care for you. Someone who knows you well will want you to be yourself, and they'll be one of the first people to notice when you're not yourself. And it's always good to have a support system like that, because if you don't have a support system, you really wouldn't know where to go, who to talk to, and you'll always feel alone. So having family is crucial in this world that we're living in right now. And in the end, taking care of your mental health is very important, and it can't go unnoticed. Like I said earlier, there's always help, even if it doesn't feel like it. You never know who is going through something until you take the time and talk to them and actually get to know them. People need people, and for the past 2 years, you could see how mentally a lot of people have been going through challenges due to, sports being canceled, trauma being in quarantine really affected a lot of people, and some people don't like to admit it, but I can say it had a big impact on me. And with that being said, you should always want to become a better you. Remember, mental health is very important, and don't forget it.